I'm your host, Lemos, Welcome to 23. You're joining me for Elementalists, Book 1, Chapter 3, Spellbound. You sit in Professor Contos' office dumbstruck after learning that you may be one of the most powerful magic users in Penderghast. That can't be right. Lots of people have 2 attunements, right? Well, it's certainly not uncommon, but it's your potential that's really astounding. I wouldn't be surprised if you ended up having a 3rd attunement at some point in your life. What, you mean another one might just appear someday? It's not a perfect science, Miss Jones. Sometimes the readings are wrong, and sometimes the attune grow into new powers over time. He gestures to a poster behind him that features a diagram reminiscent of a food pyramid, but shaped more like a skyscraper. On the bottom line are the symbols for earth, water, air, and fire. Above that, on their own line, are wood and metal, and higher still, sun and moon. Generally speaking, an attune at each tier will also gain an element from the tier below. Traditionally, 2nd tier attune will have 2 specialties. For example, a wood at may also have a mastery of water. But a water at couldn't have a secondary because there's no tier below them? Correct. Glance up at the diagram again. The lines from sun and moon connect at the top, forming a triangle, but there's no symbol there. With practice and careful study, you could very well discover that you are even stronger than you currently appear to be. You lean back in your chair, completely shocked. Wow, this all seems unreal. That one person could be so powerful, I mean. And even more insane than that is that person is me. Professor Contos steeples his fingers, cocks his head at you, appraising you carefully. You're rare and powerful, 2 components coveted by the wicked. Do me a favor, though, won't you, Ellie? What's that? Remember, goodness rarely stands alone. He eyes you over the rims of his glasses, waiting for the message to sink in. After a moment, he pulls out a blank sheet of paper and a jet black pen. He writes your name, and below that, Sun Attunement. Suddenly, the rest of the page fills up with a list of times and classroom numbers. It seems you've got a bit of time before your first class. It's never too early to start studying. Scratches a curving signature onto the bottom of the paper and hands you what you now see as an official course schedule. Wait, that's it? It feels like there's so much more I still don't know. I'd be happy to answer your questions before my next appointment arrives. Now's your chance to learn more about the magical world and your newfound powers. You may even get more opportunities to impress Professor Contos with your inquisitive nature. Professor Contos, I'll try to be quick. Thank you, sir. I feel so much better once I understand everything. He glances at a clock on his desk. Instead of numbers and the dials, there are only constellations of moon flitting lazily between them. I don't have long, but what little time I do have is yours. What is it that you want to know? The thing is, I was never good at magic growing up. We didn't talk about attunements and stuff in the family, so this is all new to me. Zarkantos nods in understandment. Some families emphasize attunements more to the children than others. Not knowing yours is by no means a pitfall. You're not alone, Ellie. For many freshmen, this is like their first formal exposure to the attunement system. I think I did some sun magic the other day, but I wasn't trying to do anything. I have no idea how it happened, or what it means, or anything. Ah, well, ask away. Thanks so much, Professor. I was wondering, how rare is sun attunement? What kind of magic is easier for me? What kind of magic will I be weak at? What does being a sun at mean about me? How do I study by attunement, Holy Mother of God? How rare is the sun? And what does that even mean? is it, like, more powerful than the others?
Having a rare attunement gives you a higher innate potential for magic in general, which simply means you should have an easier time grasping the elements below yours in the diagram.
Look down at your hands, remembering the beams of light that burst out of them.
Don't worry if you don't feel your potential yet. You've only just begun your higher education and have plenty of time to develop your skills.
I think it'll take a while to wrap my head around the idea that I have all this power inside of me, but it definitely makes me feel pretty cool. I was wondering... Let's just go down the list. I'm assuming you can ask all these?
I'm pretty sure you make an educated guess here.
Magic that involves sunlight?
Correct. Spells related to warmth should come to you naturally, and you have an easier grasp over spells performed during daylight. Your secondary attunement also makes performing spells of the element easier.
Sure is going to come in handy. What kind of magic will I be weak at?
Sun Ats often find it more strenuous to perform magic at night, though it varies with the difficulties of the spells themselves. Some elements typically associated with coolness, such as water and metal, can also give Sun Ats trouble.
This doesn't mean I'll suck at them, though, right? Zargantos chuckles.
An attune does not suck at any kind of magic, because magic is a core part of you. The difficulty comes from learning how to channel it, but that's why you're at school, to figure out your relationship with the magical energies residing within you.
Me and this magical energy have a lot of catching up to do, that's for sure. I was wondering, what does being a Sun Attune mean about me?
Well, it would be a little oversimplistic to say that also attuned are characteristic by the same set of traits. But you'll often hear that Sun Ats have an optimistic outlook on life, very loyal, and are skilled at getting people to work together.
Does that mean Sun Ats also mean I can boost people's moods? I know that's what vitamin D does.
That is something one hears often about Sun Ats, yes. The Sun Ats are quite sensitive to their environments and tend to thrive only in ones that are right for them. Sometimes, Sun Ats need to find their niche in order to bloom in their full potential.
Here's hoping Penderghast is mine. I was wondering, how do I study my attunement? Can you teach me a cool sun spell right now? Zargantos lets out a jovial laugh.
I'm afraid I can't. You'll be taking specialized lessons with Professor Swan, the Sun At advisor, later in the year.
So Professor Swan will teach me all the cool stuff, like how to explode stars, or keep the sun from setting, and creating an endless summer.
Professor Swan will instruct you on how to tap into your magical potential. That involves directing and strengthening it, and so forth. As for endless summers, those may be on, but any attuned would be capable of. Our summers must end.
Thanks for the information, Professor. But this secondary attunement, could you tell me more about that?
Metalats are known for their need for control. They are organized, capable, and highly ambitious, making them very suited for leadership roles. These self-reliant attuned are not easily swayed from their goals, leading the others to view them as stubborn and at times selfish.
Huh. Kinda does sound like me.
Metalats are prone to jealousy, so you must take care not to compare yourself to others during your magical studies.
Shut up. I feel like an open book.
Don't worry, Ellie. Learning your attunement is only the first step of the puzzle of attuned magic. The ability to do magic is innate, and all attuned have at least one attunement, because your potential needs a way to be channeled. Attunements are why some attuned may have an easier time with fire magic, or water, or whichever element or elements they favor.
So attunements are just the natural way your magical potentials manifest itself. Zargantos nods, smiling broadly.
Now, and the why behind this manifestation is still poorly understood. Most theorists believe attunement relates to the way the numerous cultures tie elements to personality traits. This is why attunement testing asks students to respond to questions, scenarios quickly and honestly, without time for overthinking.
Huh. I guess that does make more sense, and the magic I performed happened when I needed it, not because I was trying to make it happen. There's a knock at the door, and a red-faced boy, Kanto's next appointment, peeks his head in. I have one more quick question. Okay, so I'm assuming this is our limit one. What's your attunement, Professor? Why did you decide to teach at Penderghast? Are there any evil attunements? Actually, kind of curious about his, actually.
Well, as a satyr, I don't have an attunement the same way you do.
What? Then how do you channel your magic?
Channeling innate magical potential through elements is useful here for humans, because elements have been a cornerstone of human culture. The satyrs are heavily tied to unnatural surroundings, living in the mountains or forests, so we have different methods of channeling our magic. And while not all humans are attuned, all satyrs have innate magical potential.
You're all magical?
Yes, our magical is performed musically. We tend to channel our power through pan flutes and have more success this way.
So your spells are usually accompanied with music. That sounds extra magical to me.
That is why I don't teach spellwork courses, but more natural disciplines instead.
The boy knocks again, this time a bit harder.
It looks like our time is up. I hope your inquisitive mind isn't going to make you late to your next class.
Don't worry, I've got plenty of time. Thanks for answering all my questions, Professor.
Thank you for asking. I look forward to having you in class, Silly.
You bid Professor Kontos goodbye and head out of the greenhouse. As soon as you enter Penderghast's main hall, you run right into the Griffin. Hey, there she is. How'd the exam go? Good, really good. Ellie! Zephyr and Tria rush over from the other end of the hall, grinning broadly. You're Griffin Langley, sophomore and Thief Team's star player. I'm Zeph, short for Zephyr. Zeph looks up at him, starry-eyed, as he shakes his hand. Griffin laughs. Nice to meet you. Yes, we're all friends now. Blah, blah. She turns and takes your hand, and both of hers practically jumping with excitement. So, what's the verdict? I'm a Sunat. For a second, Zeph, Shria, and Griffin stare at you silently, their eyes wide. You're a Sunat? Yep, and metal too, I guess. Griffin lets out a low whistle. 2 attunements, huh? I know, I can barely believe it myself, especially since I didn't even know I was attuned. I mean, that I was such a powerful attune. You are seriously the first Sunat I've ever met in my whole life. Kondo said I may end up having a 3rd attunement one day. Oh man, being a 3rd tier must be so cool. So jealous. It's not really that impressive. Nonsense, Ellie. Sun and Moon Ats are just about as powerful as they come. Well, as powerful as you can be these days. Your friend's right. It's pretty damn cool. Don't be so modest. I'm just glad we're through all the... Not that there was any questions of what my attunement would be, but it's still kind of nerve-wracking. Now that we're done with the placements... Who's ready for class? I seriously can't wait to learn my first spell. Oh, no way. We've got a couple more hours before we're slaves to the curriculum for a whole year. We gotta enjoy it while we can. I agree with him. We should celebrate getting our official attunements. I'm sure a toned, impressive sophomore like Griffin here has better things to do than hang with a group of freshmen. This might make me sound kind of lame, but I really don't. What did you have in mind? Ooh, what about the new Mysterium in Pin Square? There was an article about it in the latest issue of Fire, and I've been dying to check it out. I don't know. Shouldn't we use this time to study or something? Your friends give each other a look before Zeph and Shreya loop their arms through yours and lead you towards your dorm. Hey! Ellie, what could you possibly need to know before the very first class of the year? Come on, live a little. You won't regret it. A short while later, you and your friends emerge into a bustling Pin Square. So where is the Mysterium? I'm pretty sure it's somewhere behind the wall of people over there. He points down an alleyway to a line of people wrapped around the block. Well, there goes that idea. Never mind the line, my dear friends. You all follow Shreya past the line of waiting people and right up to the security guard at the door.
Line's back there, kids.
I think you'll find that my friends and I are in the right place.
I'm sure the people in line behind you would disagree.
Behind you, a few people grumble and you hear some whispered voices throwing out the name Mystery. And I'm sure your boss would be very displeased to hear that you turned Shreya Mystery away at the door.
Mystery? Excuse me, of course.
He unhooks the rope and lets Shreya through, but when you try to follow, he bars your path.
As for the rest of you, I'm afraid I can't let you in.
What? But you've got to let us in.
Yeah, why's that?
Because we're her business partners.
Is that so?
Yep, you bet it is. We've come here for an important business meeting. We're looking, for up-and-coming businesses, like this, Mysterium, for franchising opportunities. But if we really can't enter... Security guard looks at the line of people behind you, and a tree behind him weighing his options. Finally, he moves aside to let you through.
Have a nice time, Miss Mystery.
Thank you. I'm sure we will. You all enter the Mysterium, which is crowded with people and covered in a dense cloud of orange smoke. I can't believe that actually worked. Seriously, quick thinking Ellie. He totally bought it. Hey, what can I say? I've conned my way into a few heavily guarded clubs before. You follow the hostess to a secluded table in the corner, and on the way, marvel at the multicolored lanterns bobbing near the ceiling. The table next to you, a group clusters around a lantern. As they light it, it starts to overflow with smoke-filled bubbles until the whole table is obscured by them. So, this is the Mysterium? A place where lanterns make bubbles? They don't just make bubbles, they're all laced with potions and have different effects. I went to one once and smoke from our lantern played out an entire Shakespeare play. You can see at the table, 3 lanterns drift down from the ceiling. One is emerald green, another is cerulean blue, and the last one is a deep, solid gray. Ellie, since it's your first time, why don't you choose? Okay, but how do I know which one I should pick? You don't. That's why they call it the Mysterium. I guess I'll go with the... I'll go with blue. Cerulean lantern settles on the table with a gentle thunk. Tree reaches in and pinches her fingers around a wick, lighting it. Here goes nothing. Suddenly gallons and gallons of crystal clear water cascade out of the lantern. Whoa! Soon the Mysterium disappears around you as you're completely engulfed in the water. You open your mouth to scream, expecting to swallow air or water, and find that you can breathe. Check it out! When you look down, you see that the floor and couches have been replaced with a coral reef, and out of the lantern swims a school of colorful fish. Hey, that tickles. A few of the fish tangle in Tria's hair, making her giggle. Behind her, Griffin is investigating the coral below. Ellie, over here. You swim over to him and peer into one of the reefs. He pokes an odd-looking nodule, which squirts out a cloud of bright pink like ink. After a while, the illusion fades away, and you find yourselves back in the Mysterium. Zaf moves his arms as though swimming. Shria giggles and flips her hair like a madwoman. That was awesome. Great idea coming here, Shria. Should we get another one? Actually, I think it's about time we got to know the mysterious upperclassman Ellie has so hastily befriended. She leans in closer to Griffin, her eye shining mischievously as she grins. What about a game of snaps? Oh, yes, I am so in. And this game entails... It's basically an easy way to con people into telling you their deepest, darkest secrets. He's being dramatic. Basically, on the count of 3, you snap an element, and the winner gets to ask the losers any questions they want. Right. Snap an element. Here, watch. Ready? 1, 2, 3, snap! They all snap their fingers at the same time. A small swirling vortex of air appears in both Griffin and Zeph's upturned palms, while Shria opens hers to reveal... Aha, fire. Fire always wins. How does that... Now, what to ask? I'm coming up short. Ellie, you ask something. Make it a good one. Okay then, Griffin, Zeph, what are you most self-conscious about? What attunement would you want if you could pick? Who of the two could win in the fight? What are you most self-conscious about? Ugh, really going for the jugular, huh? Hey, Griffin said deepest and darkest. Griffin taps his finger to his chin, thoughtfully for a moment. I guess for me, I'd have to say my work ethic. If I think people feel like I'm slacking off, it makes me feel really uncomfortable. Well, I don't know you that well, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find someone who'd say you were a slacker. Look at your muscle definition. Excuse Shria, she's got no filter and a natural disposition to flirt. Zeph? Zeph squirms uncomfortably in a seat. It's fine if you don't tell us. It's going to come out sometime. Might as well get ahead of it. I have one really short toe. We all do. It's called a pinky toe. Like, seriously. After a moment's silence, your whole group burst into laughter. Guys, seriously, I can't even wear sandals. Should we go another round? I feel like there's so much to learn about Griffin. It'll have to be another time. As much fun as it's been hanging out with you guys, I really gotta jet. You're leaving, but there's still more time before the first classes start. Oh, I know. There's this nearby waterfall I wanted to check out before I really have to buckle down for school. Next to you, Shria starts to gather up her belongings as well. And I looked it up and saw that the Dumont's mineral spring and resculpted some openings this afternoon. I have to get a touch-up. Do you think the street cred stretches for far enough that they would kick me out for a second you leave? They wouldn't dare, dear Zephyr. And I know where I'm staying. What about you, Ellie? I wouldn't mind the company on the hike up the falls. That sounds sweaty. Why not come with me? They could probably schedule us both in, and you deserve to relax before classes start. They have so many resculpts to choose from, and you could look so cute with a little dimple in your chin. Go to the falls. Sweet. You're gonna love it. The view is supposed to be incredible. Can't wait. I'll see you guys back on campus. Wave goodbye to Shri and Zeph and follow Griffin out at the Mysterium. After 30 minutes of tromping through the woods... Griffin, you didn't say this would be an entirely uphill climb. Oh, come on. A little exercise is good for the soul. Besides, we're almost there. How far is almost? Because I'm about to... Before you can finish your sentence, Griffin throws you a grin and parts the thick bushes in front of him. God, is that pretty. Wow. Worth it? Absolutely. Look down over the edge of the waterfall to sparkling water below. When you turn back, Griffin has stripped down to his boxers. Oh, that's happening. What? Did you come all the way up here just to look at the water? Besides, I can't go swimming in my clothes. Actually, I came up here to look at you? Yeah. How's the view? Pretty nice. Probably better up close. Well, if you want to get a little closer, you're gonna have to catch me first. Raises his arms and then does a arching backflip into the water below. Griffin? You peer over the edge and see Griffin fall closer and closer to the water's surface before he suddenly bounces back upward. It comes right back to eye level. Pretty cool, huh? And then he's falling again. This time he's making a smaller bounce before finally hitting the water below with a soft splash. Alright, Jones, you're up. Me? Pee right down. Strip off your clothes and place them next to Griffin's before backing up a few paces. Then you run to the edge of the cliff and vault off of it. Yahoo! Ooh, she has a sun tattoo. Huh, I never knew. Bounce up and down on the invisible barrier a couple of times before finally splashing into the water. That was awesome. Glad you think so, since that was objectively very terrifying. Through the clear water, you can see little fish with fins, like wings, swirling around the bottom. How did you find out about this place, anyway? It seems surprisingly empty for a beautiful day like today. That's because it's very hard to find. My aching legs agree with you. No, I mean, because it only appears once a year, and the location always changes. Really? How long does it stay appeared? Could we get stuck here for a whole year? Don't worry, it can't disappear with us in it. Besides, I could think of worse people to be stuck with. He flips onto his back, floating in a peaceful water. So, how did you figure out when and where, then? I found a map in the Lost and Found that some long-gone student had marked up, tracking the appearances of the disappearing falls. After that, it was just a matter of cross-referencing constellations with the map to figure out where it would be next. He looks completely at ease, though his voice rises with excitement as he tells you this. Sounds like this is something you're very passionate about. I can hear it in your voice when you talk about it. I guess it is. I don't know. My dad always lovingly called me a tree hugger. Maybe it's just a part of me being a earth-at. I really want to do something nature-related after graduation. You know, get my hands dirty. I'm just not sure if I can. Why not? It's clearly something you love. Sometimes the things you love aren't necessarily the things you're meant to do. Why would you say something like that? He shrugs with a sheepish smile as he treads water. It's sometimes something my dad said a lot. Usually when he's talking about his old music days when he played the guitar. He practiced all the time, but never really got any better. Eventually, his band got a deal and replaced him with a better guitarist. He's got a sturdy job as an accountant now, but I think he's still kind of bitter about it. Yeah, it's pretty messed up that they just gave him the boot like that. It makes more sense to do stuff that you're actually good at, right? The stuff that's going to make you comfortable in life. That, it might be true. If what you want out of life is just to get by and be able to support yourself, then yeah, you should probably just keep doing what you're good at. But that doesn't mean you can't still do both. If you really, really wanted to, I'm sure you could figure out a way to make a nice, stable living doing the things you love. And thus why I am trying to do YouTube a little bit more successfully. With the help of you guys. Griffin grins, wiping the water from his face. You really think so? Look, Griffin, I know I don't know you that well, but for some reason, I feel like you're really not the type to just ignore your passions. I don't know. Suddenly realize how little space there is between the two of you. It sounds like you know me pretty well already. I can't wait to get to know you even better. I want to know everything about you. Swim even closer, though the water's a little chilly. You feel the warmth radiating off his body. Are you sure about that? There might be some stuff you don't like. Nah, not possible. Griffin stares in your eyes, the smile still playing at the edges of his lips, slowly turns serious as the moment drags on. We should get going. We're about 5 minutes away from being late. Oh shoot, I almost forgot about class. Spent the day with Griffin at the Disappearing Falls. Come on, let's get you out of here. Can't have you getting kicked out of school on the first day. You and Griffin get dressed again before heading back into the forest. Oh, it only takes you 5 minutes to get back to school, huh? Screw the walking for 30 minutes part then. As you look back at the bushes you came through, you see a large tree in their place. The entrance now lost. Return to campus, and a short while later, duck into your first class. Spellwork 1A with Professor England. You slide into the first open seat you see, only to realize it's right next to Beckett. Oh, it's you again, the Sonat! How impressive! And I'm a Metalite too, It's hard to believe we have anything in common, but here we are. What's your problem? And how did you know I was a Sonat? I have my sources. It's amazing what you can learn from the professors during their free hours. You don't look very impressive to me. Oh, please, don't act like you haven't been practically stalking me since I got here, sending me that follower thing after me. A what? I certainly wouldn't. Excuse me, I'm trying to start a class here? You realize that your hushed exchanges have escalated to near shouts. You press your lips tightly together as Professor England begins his lecture. In this class, you'll learn to perform basic spells based on the 8 practical elements: fire, water, air, earth, metal, wood, sun, and moon. Can anyone tell me where our ability to perform magic stems from? What about you, our latecomer, Miss Jones, Ellie? Our ability to perform magic is innate. It's something we were born with. Wonderful! Perfectly worded. Very nice, Ellie. Each of you was born with these abilities, though, of course, the capacity for magic can differ from person to person. Beckett gives you a cutting look from the side of his vision as Professor England continues speaking. Simply put, every person in this room has the ability to perform most spells. However, the level of difficulty each attuned can handle may differ. Now, let's not waste any more time. Let's start today by learning a simple spell, Conjuring Fire, and bending it to our own will. Pull out a pen and pad of paper. I wonder if graph paper is better for taking notes on spells. You don't need any paper now, shh! Professor England rolls up his sleeves and shakes out his arms with a flourish. He closes his eyes and brings his palms together. The first step, as always, is to focus. Lack of focus is the #1 cause of spells going awry. For the creation of fire, you'll need to imagine a light or heat source, then some kindling. It's important to start with a strong, simple base. There's a reason we build up more to complex ideas, mainly to conserve magic and energy by using smaller pieces to achieve the same end. It's the building block method we were taught it as children. Love the enthusiasm, but I'm going to need a hand next time, Mr. Harrington. That's correct. Now, once we've focused and built our magical foundation, he snaps his fingers and flames ignite from the tips of his both hands. Conjuring Fire is a snap. Whoa. From there, controlling the flame is just a matter of controlling your breathing. I'll be coming around to check on you. Feel free to help each other, but remember, using offensive magic on another student is strictly prohibited. It's time to practice your first spell. Performing a spell properly will unlock it for later use and add it to your spellboard. And there's more than just one way to perform a spell. Try using hints Professor England gave. Complete your spell book to become the top of the class and unlock a special bonus at the end of the story. Okay, step 1 is to focus. I should close my eyes. You let your eyes drift shut and focus on finding the magic inside of you. I think I feel something. After a few moments, you start to feel something welling inside of you, a tingling warmth spreading out from your belly. I can't believe this is working. Next, I'm supposed to start the fire. Something about building blocks? As you relax, a variety of colors begin to swirl through your blackness. Wood, water, fire. Wood. This feels right. You latch onto a streak of bark-colored brown, drawing it to you, letting it overwhelm you. Fire? Sun? Or earth? I'm gonna pick sun because if you use the sun, you can cause heat, which heat, through refractionary purposes such as glass or whatnot, can cause fire. A bright yellow beam stands in the darkness, brighter than any of the other colors, and you draw towards you, watching the two colors entangle themselves. This feels right. You take a deep breath and open your eyes, and snap. Yes! In your hand, a flame is so bright you have to shield your eyes from it. Several people nearby turn to look in your direction. Even Beckett seems caught off guard. Right, well, I suppose that'd be easy for you, with your attunement and all. Can you leave me alone, please? I'm trying to concentrate. Clearly. He turns away, his flame floating lazily around the air above his head. Okay, deep breath. You're almost done. One thing left to do. Sir England arrives at your table and watches Beckett perform his spell flawlessly. Afterward, he and Beckett both turn to watch you. Flawlessly, my hands! Looks like you're almost there. You just need to bend the flame to your will. Okay, so metal will not do that. Fire or air? Air? Fire needs air, so let's go there. Close your eyes again, plucking out a shimmery thread of silver. You draw its energy into, like drawing a deep breath. You open your eyes and exhale, watching the flame leave your hand and shoot across the room in a delicate arc. Whoa! After doing a lap of the room, the flame returns to you, settling back into your still open palm. Very nice job. Quite masterful. Thank you. Now, Ellie, with all your marks combined, a perfect score. Absolutely superb. You really are quite a rare talent. I look forward to seeing what you can do over the course of this year. Gay? Unlock the flame spell. Unlocking spells will help you survive your first year of Penderghast. I actually did it. I can't believe this. Yes, yes, congratulations. You managed to spell for babies. You really are quite the attuned. You turn your back to him, shoulders tense. The flame in your hand flickers as you try to relax. Uh-oh, looks like your frame's dwindling. Better focus up. It's harder to keep control when you're distracted. Squeeze your eyes shut, trying to block him out. You know, I thought I'd be more impressed when I met my first son, and maybe Professor Contos got it wrong. Why don't you shut up? You turn sharply towards him, intending to get back at a piece of your mind, but as you do, your flame shoots out of your hand and races straight towards him. No, wait! Hey! He holds up his hand before the fireball makes contact, and with a wave, sends it back in your direction. Ah! You dive out of the way, and turn to watch it sail past you, right towards Professor England. Wait, Professor England ducks just in the nick of time when the fireball soars right over his head, crashing into the wall behind him. He straightens up, waves a hand at the smoldering wall, putting the flames out instantly. Well, that's definitely one way to start off the year. I'm so, Professor. Sorry, Professor. It's... I'm gonna go with his fault. My fault? How dare you? You totally got this weird vendetta against me, even sending that creepy follower right thing after me. Again with this, I didn't send anything to attack you. Why would I do something like that? Fine, go ahead and lie. But, Professor, I was just trying to do my spell the way you taught us, and he kept heckling me. When I turned around to tell him to stop, I guess I lost control. And I was trying to dispel the flame she sent at me. By sending it back at her? I know you're a skilled attune, Mr. Harrington. I'd expect much better of you. Becca's cheeks turn pink. You stare down at your shoes. At this point, it's out of my hands. You'll both have to go see Dean Joffe. Murmuring breaks out over the round. You feel a heavy weight in the pit of your stomach. But, sir, you can't! It's no longer up to me. You'll see the dean tomorrow morning after class. She may go easy on you, but attacking other students is grounds for expulsion. And Dean Joffe isn't particularly well known for being a forgiving woman. Ah, yes, I've met her in another life. Send help. Without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video. And, hey, guess what? If you really did enjoy this video, you want to do me a favor? You want to hit that share button? Share the Diamond Editions? Because, I put in a lot of work, get the diamonds, spend them, do the voicing. Be appreciated. Love you. Again, appreciated. And outro.